You know, Shaq is the most physically gifted 7-foot guy that I'd ever seen in my life. And this guy is like 4 inches taller, and he's athletic. It can shoot threes. I mean, it is a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, this dude be doing crossovers and taking the ball between his legs. For a big guy to be able to do that, Ernie, like, it's like point guard skills. Like I say, we've seen big guys. We've never seen a big guy that big. That athletic, but it's unbelievable.
But the problem with the Spurs, when they play against Kazine and the Joker, they're going to occupy Wemby. And then their team gets really, really small when he has to stay out of the paint. So that's the difference, but they got a really, really bright future.
There was a period where people acted like Charles Barkley was completely disrespecting Victor Wembanyama's talent. But hold up. After all the noise and non-stop hype surrounding Wemby before he even touched an NBA court, people ignored how dangerous unrealistic expectations can become. Now, while everybody keeps debating Wembanyama's skill set and talking about his ultimate ceiling, we're starting to watch him take on bigger responsibilities for the Spurs when the games actually matter. And listen to this. It's beginning to feel like Chuck might have seen something early that most people refuse to hear. So let's actually break down what his message really was. Before Victor Wembanyama ever logged a single NBA minute, people were already talking about him like he wasn't human. Clips from France exploded across social media feeds everywhere. One moment, he was swatting jump shots away looking like somebody built in a lab. Then on the very next play, he's casually pushing the ball up the floor looking more like a guard than a 7-footer. And before fans could even process what they were watching, he was drilling step-back threes over defenders who looked completely outmatched. At that point, people stopped discussing Wembanyama like a prospect. They started discussing him like basketball itself had changed overnight. If there was ever a prospect with hype levels that could challenge LeBron's, you won't believe this, it's probably Wemby. And right in the middle of all that chaos, Chuck Barkley said, and I quote, "I want to see the kid play. I hope he's great because it's great for our job, but I can't sit here now just because he's killing people in the Czech Republic that he's going to come over here and dominate. I just don't believe it." And honestly, the response to that quote tells you everything about modern basketball conversations, because fans instantly treated Barkley like he was attacking Wembanyama himself. But here's the part people missed. Chuck wasn't questioning the talent. If anything, he sounded more like somebody who has watched enough NBA history to understand how dangerous projections become before reality ever catches up, especially for a player built like Victor Wembanyama. The league has seen giant players before, and while none had Wemby's level of skill, talent was rarely the issue. Usually, the bigger concern was whether their body could survive the grind long enough. So yeah, Charles Barkley looked like the odd man out when he refused to jump on the Wemby hype train, and even now, he still doesn't hesitate to call out parts of his game, especially when it comes to shooting threes.
Well, first of all, women shouldn't be taking 8 threes. That's too many threes for a 7'5" guy. You need to go down in the post where they have to double him and use his height to his advantage.
Every now and then, we even catch Chuck leaning towards Shaq's side whenever those comparison debates start heating up, and that's where things get interesting.
His first year was better than Shaq's first year.
Wait, what?
I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go.
See, there you go, disrespecting Shaq again. I got your back, baby.
But once again, Victor Wembanyama keeps forcing people to realize he doesn't fit the normal rules. At 7'4", Wembanyama should probably move with the weight and limitations that usually come with that size. After all, most of basketball's legendary giants played exactly like giants. Shaq punished teams with overwhelming power. Yao Ming controlled games through touch, timing, and pure size. Kareem made dominance look smooth and effortless. But listen to this. Wembanyama moves like somebody accidentally stretched a wing player into the frame of a skyscraper. And even Charles Barkley catches himself looking shocked sometimes.
You know, Shaq is the most physically gifted 7-foot guy that I'd ever seen in my life. And this guy is like 4 inches taller, and he's athletic. It can shoot threes. I mean, it is a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, this dude be doing crossovers and taking the ball between his legs. For a big guy to be able to do that, Ernie, like, it's like point guard skills. Like I say, we've seen big guys. We've never seen a big guy that big. That athletic, but it's unbelievable.
Different era. But I'm just saying close. But Wemby is a
Love you,
anomaly.
Ralph.
He's an anomaly.
Yeah.
He is something different. He is an alien.
But hold up, Chuck keeps making this one joke that actually reveals there might be something deeper behind what he's saying.
Check, you know what's weird about Wemby? He's like the only person in San Antonio can't gain weight.
But as funny as the joke sounded in the moment, Charles Barkley was actually dead on, because hidden underneath the humor is something people still don't fully understand. Wembanyama's body still feels almost like an experiment happening in real time. Like basketball has never truly seen this level of height, movement, flexibility, and responsibility all packaged together before. And the crazier his highlights become, listen to this, the harder it gets to ignore how much punishment that frame could absorb over the next 10 years. The exact moment Victor Wembanyama stopped looking like an ordinary rookie might have been the same moment Charles Barkley started worrying all over again. Because once those viral clips turned into real NBA production, the conversation around Wemby shifted fast. Suddenly, nobody was talking about the upside anymore. People started talking about him like he was already becoming one of the players who could shape basketball's next era. Soon enough, the Spurs themselves started leaning on him heavily, not gradually, not cautiously, immediately. Already, we've watched him take on more responsibility as a vocal presence inside that locker room. And seriously, when was the last time we saw someone that young with that type of frame also expected to lead grown professionals with his voice? Now Wembanyama has to play with enough force and confidence to pull the Spurs with him, which is exactly why Barkley's concern never fully disappeared, even while his respect kept increasing. He said this, and I quote, "These guys who are that tall, have we ever seen any one of them stay really healthy for like 10 years of excellence? I mean, it's such a freak of nature to be that tall, and I love that kid. I hope he's able to stay healthy." Barkley wasn't really talking about random injuries there. He was talking about history, basketball history, the type that quietly follows giant players around no matter how gifted they are. Because today's NBA asks an exhausting amount from its stars. Big men can't just stand near the basket and dominate anymore. They have to switch on to guards defensively, recover to shooters, protect the rim, sprint the floor, create offense in transition, stretch defenses, survive 82 games, survive playoff pressure, survive nonstop social media noise, survive expectations, and somehow become franchise faces before their bodies are even fully mature. Now imagine all of that responsibility stacked onto somebody standing 7'4". The fear was never really that Wembanyama would fail. The fear is whether his body can survive the growing weight of expectations, from being the best rookie to becoming the face of the league to carrying the Spurs and now being expected to lead vocally too. And the scary part is there's still more coming. Chuck pushed the conversation even further when he said, "I know at the end he didn't have a lot left, but he had a 10 to 15 year run where he could outrun everybody, he could outjump everybody. But man, I hope Victor can stay healthy."
That's an absolutely brutal workload for Wemby's body, and honestly, most people still don't want to hear it. And the crazy irony is, the more unbelievable Victor Wembanyama becomes, the more pressure the basketball world keeps throwing onto his shoulders. Every dominant performance raises expectations even higher. Every viral clip becomes another reason fans expect him to rescue possessions, carry defenses, take over games, and maybe even hold together the entire future of the Spurs organization. Victor Wembanyama really might become one of the greatest basketball players this sport has ever witnessed, and that possibility is exactly why conversations about his long-term health feel so uncomfortable. Because once a player becomes this important to the future of basketball, the pressure stops being reasonable. Now, every single game becomes attached to a bigger narrative. Every injury scare turns into national headlines overnight. Every losing streak suddenly becomes a debate about the future. Every highlight adds another layer to the mythology surrounding him. And maybe that's exactly why Charles Barkley's perspective matters more now than ever before. Because what we're watching happen with Wemby is simple. Once a player starts looking this rare, people stop asking what's physically fair to expect from them. They just keep demanding more and more. But hold up, do you think basketball fans are already expecting too much from him? And if you want to hear how NBA players truly talk about Victor behind all the hype, listen to how NBA players really feel about Victor Wembanyama next.